It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Well, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be around the world. Ali Madawi here with a brand new installment of Yup Daily. And guess what? It is 2022. Happy New Year to all of you amazing, incredible, fantastic, happy entrepreneurs from all around the world. My goodness, today I'm going to talk to you. If you are developing an organization and you are looking to create an incredible duplication for tomorrow, something that is sustainable, not just the thing that is used as a cliche. You need to follow a system to create results and create duplication. That all sounds great, but I'm going to actually give you my personal formula on what I've done in order to create duplication. Now, what qualifies me to talk to you about this? Well, let's just look at the last 2.5 years. I've been able from scratch with an incredible executive team and incredible leadership team to develop an organization in 6 continents right now as we speak, growing in the thousands every single month. And you may be part of that organization. So I think I can share with you a little bit of what we've done, how we've done it, why we've done it in order to develop leadership and to develop a growing organization month after month after month. Now, let's first and foremost welcome you. How is your day going? How are you starting this new year? If you are an entrepreneur, let me know from 1 to 10, 10 being the best. How are you starting the year? Is it with a bang? I can tell you, for me, man, I'm at an 11 right now. I have never been more focused like I am. I've never been more excited, more empowered to develop and create magic like I am right now. And I hope you are too. So let's get into it. When we're going to talk about duplication, the idea is to have something that works and it repeats itself through generations and generations within your organization. That's what duplication is all about. It isn't about someone speaking like me, but it is someone having the positive results that I'm creating. And it gives me, the leader, the ability to free myself from certain activities so I can live a little. Otherwise, I've purchased or I've bought myself a full-time job. And that's not the idea of financial or time freedom, if you will, right? So let's talk about a few things that I think you can implement right here, right now, and today. First things first, the very first antidote for you to create duplication is simply this. What kind of activities are you taking every single day? See, if your activity is simple versus being complex, your team members, your followers, your organization is going to feel compelled enough to say, I can do that. I can try that. But if it feels like, man, I don't know if I can do that, therefore the team member by default has what we call an internal objection. And now it doesn't matter how good a compensation plan, it doesn't matter how good a product or service, that person already checked out mentally, and it's only a matter of time for them to check out physically. So you got to ask yourself and do a self-evaluation. Is what I'm doing right now simple enough for everybody else to repeat after me? Or is this something that is very complicated where only the very select few, the anomalies, if you will, have the abilities to do? So personally, I think simpler is the better. This is why I focus on systems like the ATM system, the add tag message. I add someone in a group, I tag them in a video, and I create a messenger with a third party. I think everyone can do that because everyone is already doing that on social media, right? But to create a fully automated funnel that has a sequence with an autoresponder, that has a sequence with a trigger message, all that sounds great. But if the person that is trying to get into that process is not computer savvy, technology savvy, or is just feeling a little bit intimidated because they've never done something like this before, by default, they are already checking out and saying, I can't do this, right? Or they tend to, unfortunately, try things that just don't work because they are under the impression is what you're doing is not working for me, so I have to go ahead and find my own. The other part of your activity is your activity IPA or EPA? See, IPA is income producing activity. EPA is emotional producing activity. Like, you want to feel good, right? It's like some people would spend 3 hours creating a TikTok. They would spend an hour creating Canva pictures for their social media instead of actually creating income, right? Like, I understand the power of social media. Trust me, I live in social media. This is what I'm building a conglomerate with. It's all in social media. But I don't spend all of my day, scrolling and creating images and dancing and creating filters or none of that stuff. Yeah, I do cater a little bit of time, maybe 30 minutes, an hour tops out of my whole day in 5 to 10 minute increments on social media, right? Unless I am actively prospecting or I'm actively communicating with someone about our business. But regardless, unfortunately, many people are emotion producing throughout the whole day. All they want to do is put a content that makes me feel good. Oh, that image looks good. That filter looks good. It makes me feel good. Well, guess what? When you do that, your team members are going to follow the same exact behavior. If you have a team members that are creating more reels, that are creating income or production, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing? Where are they getting that motivation to feel that this is the thing that I should spend most of my day on, right? Next is, are you using a DMO or daily method of operation, right? Like in trading, you hear all the time, use a daily method of operation. Well, in business, 100%, it is a must to use a daily method of operation. If you're not, you're going to put yourself, it's like you're just winging it and hoping something works out. You have to have a routine. You have to have a system that you're leveraging each and every single day. I do the same exact thing every single day. It may be different from who I'm talking to and what I'm talking about, but my routine, my daily method of operation, what I read, what I write, the amount of water that I drink, when I have my vitamins, how I have my snack bars, when I drink my coffee, when I get my emails out of the way, when I attack my, Asana task lists and things of that nature. I have a very specific system that has worked for me, and it will not hinder any income producing activities. See, for example, after 8 o'clock a.m., I do not look at emails. I do not do anything administrative. All I do is active with the field. I work with field members, 3-way calls, webinars, prospecting, whatever it may be. That's all I do until I go to sleep. That's my DMO. If I don't do that, unfortunately, I will compromise the activity within the field, which means I'm compromising my activity as well. So doing so is teaching individuals exactly. There's a system, there's a game plan. I just got to follow that system. I just got to follow that game plan itself, right? Are you including your team members in that daily method of operation or that system? Are you holding them accountable within that system? Or are you just doing your own thing and call me if you need me kind of thing, right? I hope you're not doing the call me if you need me kind of thing. Make sure that you are including your team, at least the main actors in your team, right? Like they say that 20% of my organization is revealing 80% of my production, which is true. But I focus all of my resources, my time, my energy on those 20% of my field. That way they can duplicate and do the same exact thing with everybody else. Because I can't work with 10,000 people, but I can certainly work with 20, to 100 people, if you will, right? Making sure that you are using layered leadership. So not everybody belongs in your leadership circle. And it doesn't mean that you're a mean person or the person is not a nice person. It's not a cool boys or cool girls club. It's mainly and simply this. There are individuals who can handle high level accountability and pressure. There are some that are not even set up to be able to handle it, right? There are people who have two jobs and kids at home, and they only have maybe 2 hours a day to themselves that they can make a little bit of personal and business time, and that's okay. I'm not going to be holding them accountable to achieve $1 million in business in the next 90 days. It's just, it doesn't make sense, right? Like I'm setting them up for failure. But I do work with those individuals at their own level. I create or I cater a process that would work for them, like the ad tag message system. And I work with them on their own leisure, right? On their own time span. Everybody else, I work with them at a higher level and then a higher level. And then there's the absolute elite where it's just non-negotiable. If you're going to be around the elite, you better perform like an elite or you just don't belong. So layered leadership are very, very important. Next is, are you, and this is, I believe, one of the biggest piece of duplication, are you yourself consistent over a period of time? See, if your activity or if your behavior or specifically your attitude is not consistent overall in front of, behind the scene, in Zoom, in private, you're eventually going to lose credibility. I know people who are have self-sabotaged their business over the years just because they were not consistent in their attitude and in their behavior. They allowed unnecessary emotional things to take over their business day to day, where at times they would not answer their team members' phone calls because they're not in the mood, or at times they would just get cranky and take off a whole week and do absolutely nothing. Well, guess what your team is saying? Like, you're not the leader. I'm committed to the wrong person. You don't see me for what I'm worth. You see me when you are ready to make a little bit more money on me. And that will kill your influence, because duplication 100% is attached with your influence on a group of individuals to see you as a credible person and do what you are doing and or saying. Last but not least is, are you growing? And that's across any area. I've had two Zoom coaching sessions with two gentlemen, actually. The very first one, Mr. Nathan Salmons, and one gentleman from his team. And one of the things, or a few things that I usually ask is like, what motivated you to meet with me today? And the first thing they both had said was simply this: I love how you are with your wife. I love how you are with your kids. I just love what you are becoming as a human being, and that appeals to me. And I want to just get some mentorship on how I can get my life and my business in order so I can be a good father, a good husband, a good friend, and so on and so forth. And that tells me that people are looking at you as a leader beyond just numbers and figures and commissions and titles. It's more of who you are as a human being. Like, how are you living your life? What are you doing on a day-to-day? So you got to make sure that you are growing, and that is unfortunately 100% on you to show your responsibility, your growth, if you will. So this is why I read every day. I listen to podcasts every day. I listen to audiobooks every day. I'm always feeding my brain, my mind, my body, all things to educate myself all day, all night, nonstop, like there's no tomorrow. See, doing these very basic fundamentals that I shared with you right now would not only give you influence, will give you credibility, but it will also give you a team that says, I want to follow you. I want to do what you're doing. And if you use layered leadership, you start teaching them to take on certain responsibilities. Like maybe at first, hey, congratulations, you've made this rank. From this point forward, I'm going to teach you how to present, how to teach the compensation plan, and how to do a tour to the back office. So I'm no longer having to do that. There are individuals who are doing it with their teams. Then you raise to the next layer. Hey, I'm going to teach you how to do three-way calls, and I'm going to teach you how to close someone in business. So now you have another layers of individuals. Now you're creating this duplicatable process where you are transferring your leadership abilities. It isn't just about a system or a script. It's about leadership abilities at a layered level from one place to another, from one place to another. And if you do so, I can promise you're going to have a little bit of an impact every single month. And that's what you want. Just a little better growth, until you make it to the goals that you wish and you desire. Hey, folks, if you are part of our entrepreneurial community, just remember, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it will be one of those Zooms that you do not want to miss out. It's going to be recognition to the top. It's going to be some fun announcements. And you know, when I say announcements, they are going to be amazing. You're not going to want to miss that. And if you're not part of our entrepreneurial community, reach out to the person who's tagging you in this video. See, this 15 minutes that we just had together may have shown you some value. What if we could do this all week long, where you can learn how to start, grow, or scale a business, where you can learn how to become maybe a professional trader, or maybe you can position yourself how to have automation to your own earnings you're making from a job, or how you can position yourself to brand yourself better, or how you can have free websites, how you can put content. I can go on and on and on and on, but we have by far the world's greatest entrepreneurial community that can absolutely help you achieve all things that you would want and wish for. So I thank you and I appreciate you for your time. And until tonight, 9 p.m., you do not want to miss it. It's going to be insane. Have a blessed day, everybody. We'll see you soon.